Washington, D.C. A political and legal firestorm is erupting in the nation's capital after the District of Columbia filed a lawsuit against the federal government, accusing it of an illegal takeover of its police force. The lawsuit comes just hours after U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi signed an emergency order appointing Drug Enforcement Administration (DEA) Chief Terry Cole as the Emergency Police Commissioner for D.C. The order grants Cole full authority over the Metropolitan Police Department (MPD), effectively stripping D.C. Police Chief Pamela Smith of her powers. Under Bondi's directive, Chief Smith cannot issue any new orders to her department without Cole's approval. This unprecedented move, announced late Thursday, sent shockwaves through the city's political leadership. D.C. Attorney General Brian Schwalb took to social media, posting that the federal government had illegally declared a takeover of MPD and was abusing its temporary and limited authority under the law. The city's lawsuit demands a judge overturn Bondi's directive and block Cole from assuming any command role within the MPD. The spark that ignited the clash. This confrontation traces back to earlier this week, when President Donald Trump declared he would use federal law enforcement agencies to bring crime under control in Washington. Citing a provision from the 1970s-era Home Rule Act, Trump argued that the federal government has the authority to take over the city's police for federal purposes whenever deemed necessary. Since then, hundreds of National Guard troops and federal agents have been deployed across the city. Armored vehicles have been spotted near major landmarks. Drivers have been stopped in nightlife districts, and encampments of homeless residents have been cleared. Officials say a total of 800 troops and 500 federal law enforcement officers, including FBI agents, are expected to be active in the city during the operation. Dueling narratives on crime. Bondi defended her actions during an appearance on Fox News, pointing to what she described as an alarming surge in violent crime. She claimed federal forces had already made 156 arrests and seized 27 illegal firearms this week alone. But local leaders push back hard on that claim. Mayor Muriel Bowser, a Democrat, insists the city is not facing an emergency, calling the federal action an unnecessary and extraordinary authoritarian push. Meanwhile, official police data tells a very different story. After peaking in 2023, violent crime in Washington has been falling steadily. According to MPD statistics, 2024 saw crime rates hit their lowest point in 3 decades. Early 2025 data shows the trend continuing, with violent crime down 26% compared to the same period last year, and robberies down 28%. The road ahead, for now. The legal and political standoff is intensifying. D.C. leaders are instructing Chief Smith to ignore the federal order, while federal officials insist they have the authority and the mandate to enforce it. The courts will now decide whether this is a justified federal intervention or a dangerous overreach of power. Either way, the streets of Washington are seeing a rare and uneasy sight. Local police and federal forces operating side by side, but not necessarily on the same team.